We've been married for almost 3 years now, and one of the most significant insights that I've had has been a development of a more acute sense of self-awareness about the things that I say and I do, just because I get live, real-time feedback from you, Molly.
I think it's been important for me to learn as well that whatever choices I make affect Michael and our marriage, and that can have negative consequences, but it also can have positive consequences, and the choices I make can affect us and Michael for the better or for the worse. And so learning how to take time and pause and think not only of myself but of Michael and our marriage while I'm making choices has been really helpful. So since being married, I've learned that Michael's more sensitive than I thought he was. For a lot of our relationship before we were married, we lived apart and did a lot of texting and phone calls. And so I didn't really get to see certain sides of Michael that you just don't get to see until you live around and with someone. So I've learned that he's, more sensitive than I thought he was.
Well, and to piggyback off of that, especially with the texting point, is that I really wasn't fully aware of your communication style and how you like to process things, how you like to, speak. Sometimes it's a little bit more frank than I expected. And so I think that has been something that I've learned over these last 3 years. One of the things that I wish I had known going into marriage was just how to best cultivate a balance between being a partner in our marriage and maintaining my individuality, maintaining my friendships and my love of things that I rather cared a ton about even before we were married. And that's not to say that I necessarily lost enjoyment in those things, but I think finding that balance sooner would have been even more of a positive for me.
Yeah. Going off that, I would say that I had to learn that you are not my ultimate source of joy. And that although you are the most important relationship I have and a huge part of my life, circumstances going on in your life, whether it's with school or work, don't necessarily have to affect my happiness or my joy day to day, as well as any kind of conflict or things that we are working through and maybe in a harder season, doesn't mean that I can't still enjoy myself or have a good day, that my whole world and feelings do not revolve around you. And I think that would have been a really helpful realization to come to if I had come to it sooner. So if I met a couple who was engaged or newly married, I would encourage them that marriage is a long game and that the goal is to be married for the rest of your lives. And so you have a lifetime to work on building your relationship, and so the different habits you have now can affect you in the long term. So really work on having positive habits that lay a really good foundation for you for decades to come. And it also can help, that idea can help give perspective when you are going through a difficult season or have a time of loss or some difficult times in your marriage, either between you or externally. That this is just a season, this is a part of your marriage, but it's not your whole marriage. There's a lot bigger picture and purpose to it.
And to your point, Molly, just to add to that, even during tough seasons and different seasons throughout marriage, there are always moments that you can take advantage of to be present with one another, whether that is just a quick date out for ice cream or a walk, something that's just enough time to intentionally spend with your partner. I think that's something that has been really helpful to you and I would encourage any engaged or newly married couple to take advantage of those moments and really cherish those.